You can read 100 trading books. You can test a dozen different indicators. You can binge watch YouTube videos 99% win rate secrets until your eyes bleed. But if your trading system is missing the three core elements I am about to show you, your account's gonna die. It's because you are entering the market with something that you think is a system, but is actually just highly educated gambling. Welcome to Market Sector. Today we are tearing down the illusion of the Holy Grail strategy. I am going to show you the exact three pillars of a complete bulletproof trading system. Let's dive in. When I first started trading, I had a very dangerous belief. If I just find the right tool, I will never lose again. So I went hunting. I threw moving averages, RSI, MACD, Fibonacci, and Bollinger Bands, all into one screen. My chart looked like a laser light show. I thought I looked like a Wall Street professional. But inside my head, complete chaos. I would enter a trade because the moving average crossed over, but the RSI was screaming overbought, and the Fibonacci level was telling me to wait. I was trading with confidence. I was throwing money at the screen and praying one of my indicators was right. And I fell into the ultimate trap. Lose money, blame the strategy, find a new one, lose again. I was drowning in data until I stopped and asked myself one brutal simple question. A question that 90% of beginners never answer before they click the mouse. Where is the river flowing? And that's pillar one. The river of money. If I ask you to describe your trading system, you will probably say, oh, I use the MACD on the 15-minute time frame. That is not a system, that is just a tool. The very first pillar of a complete system is price trend. You must be able to look at a chart and instantly know, without guessing, without feeling, if the market is an uptrend, a downtrend, or moving sideways. Imagine the market as a massive, fast-moving river. You can have the most expensive high-tech speedboat in the world, but if you try to drive that boat up a waterfall, you are going to drown. If you don't know the trend, every tool you use is being applied in the wrong context. The second pillar, the GPS. Okay, so you know the river is flowing up. Does that mean you just blindly jump in? No, knowing the trend doesn't mean you know how to execute. This is where beginners get murdered. They say the trend is up. I think I should buy here. I think is not a system. A system demands a GPS. Before your finger ever touches the mouse, you must answer three non-negotiable questions. The entry. Exactly what condition gets me into this trade? The stop loss. Where is the exact line that proves my thesis is wrong? The take profit. Where is my destination? Let's talk about the stop loss. Because nobody likes it, but the market does not pay your ego. It pays your discipline. A stop loss is not a punishment. It is simply the rent you pay to the business as a trader. Beginners enter a trade first and figure out their exit later. When the trade goes against them, they negotiate. I will just a stop hunt. I will give it more room. Suddenly, a tiny paper cut becomes a severe artery. When you have a GPS, trading stops being emotional. You don't hope, you don't pray, you execute. Pillar number 3, the casino math. So you have the trend, you have your GPS, you feel like a pro. But a month later, your account is still slowly bleeding to death. Why? Because you are missing the final piece of the puzzle, statistical edge. New traders are obsessed with win rate. They want a system that wins 90% of the time. But here is the brutal truth. A high win rate is often a trap. You can win 80% of your trades, but if you take tiny profits and let your losers run wild, one bad day will wipe out a month of hard work. On the flip side, some of the wealthiest traders on Wall Street only win 40% of their trades. Let that sink in. They are wrong more often than they are right. How are they rich? Because when they are wrong, they lose $100, and when they are right, they make $400. That is statistical edge. Trading is about flipping a coin 100 times and knowing that the math guarantees you will walk away with a profit. You stop stressing over individual trades because you know each trade is just one tiny data point in a massive sequence. And now you finally have a system. But there is one final boss you have to defeat, and it's the reason 90% of traders still fail even after they learn everything I just told you. Discipline. You have a perfect system, but on a Tuesday afternoon you get bored, you break your rules, you move your stop loss, you double your lot size because you feel lucky, and you blow it. Then you look at your strategy and say, this strategy sucks. No, the strategy didn't fail. You failed the strategy. A system hopping is an epidemic. Traders try a strategy, lose 2 trades, and immediately switch to a new YouTube guru's method. They are like a person trying to find water by digging 100 holes that are only 1 foot deep. To find water, you have to dig 1 hole 100 feet deep, you have to commit. Trading was never about the indicators. It was never a quest for a holy formula. Trading is a mirror. It reflects your impatience, your ego, and your fear of missing out. A complete trading system does not guarantee you will win every trade. It does something much more important. It stops you from destroying yourself. When you have a real system, the anxiety fades away. You stop trying to predict the future and you start managing the present. So, I want you to look at your own trader right now. Do you have these three pillars, or are you just gambling with a bit of extra knowledge? Be honest with yourself in the comments below. What pillar are you missing right now? Let's talk about it. If this video finally gave you some clarity, hit the subscribe button. We are building real bulletproof traders here. I will see you in the next lesson.